Welcome back to the DocBPodcast. I am Aaron Cook, Director of Program Evaluation, and your host. This podcast is all about getting to know the people who make Clovis Unified such a special place. And today, we're talking with someone whose work you've definitely seen, even if you haven't met him. Our guest is Carlos Aleman, the manager of the grounds department. If you've ever stepped onto one of our campuses and noticed how clean, welcoming, and well cared for everything looks, Carlos and his team are a big part of that. We're going to talk about his journey, the work that goes on behind the scenes, and what inspires him and his crew to take such great care and pride in every walkway, field, and anything green across this district. Carlos, thanks for being here today. Why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself, your position, and how long you've been in the district.
My name is Carlos Aleman, going on almost 20 years in the district. I was born in Honduras and raised in El Salvador. I came to the United States when I was 13 years old. It was pretty difficult, coming at that age, not knowing the language. It was really hard in school, but I managed to learn a little bit of English and it got easier. I went to Wilson High School in Long Beach. Then my dad is a preacher. They transferred him to Sanger from Long Beach. I used to work on the weekends, got into landscaping, and then as soon as I graduated, they offered me a full-time position. I said, no, I'm going to go to school. I don't want to work. They insisted, and I said, okay, just a year. So we did that for a year, and that year became 12 years in the landscaping industry. That's how I came to Clovis. I was doing a couple of jobs for Clovis. Then I met Chris Smith. He said, hey, I think you'll be a perfect fit for us. Why don't you come and work for us? There's a position open. It's not happening, dude. I was young. I was making pretty good money. Every day he used to ask, hey, Carlos, have you thought about it? I go, nope. Have you thought about it? Nope. And I said, just stop. It came to a point that I used to hide from him when he used to go visit the jobs. Last date, he said, Carlos, it's closing. Get an application. So he started telling me about the benefits of working in the district, because I didn't know. I worked Monday through Sunday if it was necessary, and thought about it a little bit. At that time, my son was young, and I didn't have benefits. He was talking about, hey, vacation. I go, what do you mean vacation? I didn't know what vacation was. So I went and got a hard copy, filled it out, came and had my first interview with the grounds department. I interviewed with Stan Kawaguchi, Charles, Steve Cleary. I interviewed, and they called me and said they want to interview again, and I got nervous. I was so close to saying, no, I'm good. Because, sometimes you get so comfortable in what you're doing that you're afraid of the unknown. I was really scared. My interview was horrible because I'd never been interviewed for a position before. The hard work wasn't an issue for me. Sometimes we don't plan for the future. We just go to work tomorrow. We're never thinking, okay, what's next? What's in 5 years? What's in 10 years?
So what switched for you then?
Oh, it's all Clovis. I drank the Kool-Aid. I drank the whole pitcher. I didn't take a sip. I bought a house downtown Clovis. I did the whole thing. It took those relationships. I think Clovis teaches you to build relationships that last forever. There's people that go through life looking for relationships and they never find it. Every day we build those relationships. They're not surface relationships. They're rooted relationships that no matter what time you call, we'll be there. You tell me what you need. If we can make it happen, it's done.
So you're in the private sector, then you have an opportunity to come to a different place where community has great value. What stability did Clovis Unified offer that you felt you needed?
In a way, it's sad to say this. With my dad being a preacher, it was always church. Thanksgiving was a church. Christmas was a church. It was never just us. I don't know if this sounds correct, but I guess Clovis gave me that. I'm a family at the time, but it gave me that unity, that family feel. Sometimes you think you have it, but you don't know until you really meet, I guess, a family. And that's what I did with Clovis. No matter what you're going through, as long as you are willing to share your issues or talk to somebody, there's always going to be somebody to help you. Work didn't mean nothing. I could work anywhere. I could make money anywhere. That never was a problem for me, making money. Had it, lost it, that doesn't give you satisfaction and a purpose in life.
So I'm curious, what gets you excited about working on our campuses?
It's multiple things. The first event, the stadium's hold or the varsity field. So when you see the kids' faces, okay, it's first time we see another. I think year round gets me excited. As long as we making a difference for the kids, for my team, for the grounds department. But plan ops as a whole, we're a unit, we're solid.
So can you even say that your department ever rests?
No, there's no resting period. It never stops. People think we off during the summer that's when we really get down and dirty, do our field renovations, see what the fields need or the sites need, and that's when we take care of it. No, there's never a rest period.
Maybe you can explain to those that are listening, what do you manage? What is the scope of your responsibility in CUSD?
I'm the manager of the grounds department, so that basically anything that's green on the site, the first thing you see when you walk to a site, a grounds department. When we hire, that's one of the things I tell the new hires. I want you to speak with your presence, not with your lip. That's difficult to do sometimes. But that's the main thing. Speak with your presence. Because that's the first thing you see. The way you look, that's the first thing the kids are going to see. I focus a lot on that. The way you present yourself, the way you look. Just because we work in ground, that doesn't mean you got to look alrighty. You got to present yourself right. Doesn't matter what position you hold in my department.
I imagine that when you travel around the state or in the valley, you visit some campuses. What is it that you do when you walk onto a campus? What do you see first?
I'll be lying if I said I don't judge. The first thing I see in the fields, seeing how the campus looked, every step I take, I'm judging. I have friends in other districts, and I don't mind sitting down with them. I could give you the recipe, but nobody can cook it like us. Nobody. There's no way, because you don't got my team, you don't got my guys. And that takes years of developing them.
So how do you develop your crew to enact your vision?
What Doc used to say, leading through relationships. Hiring is the most important thing we do. I could hire you, but if I don't build a relationship with you, I'm paying you to do just the job. Dr. Young used to say, I could hire you to do a job, but I can't pay you to care. Our main focus when we hire someone is that I don't care what skill sets you have. Do you have that I can do attitude? Are you willing to listen to your team? Are you humble? Bring all the knowledge from outside, but are you humble to let us show you the way we do it?
If Dr. Buchanan was to walk our campuses today, what would he notice?
The first thing he will probably notice somebody working. He'll see somebody and go talk to them and ask him what he's doing when he knows already what he was doing. And he already know who he was, but he wanted to get a conversation out of you. The first thing he will make 100% sure is to acknowledge you first, and then he will tell you, you need to trim that freaking tree. We used to have conversations because we used to trim all these roses in the backyard, and I really wish I would go back and take a little bit more time and not trim those roses and just sit and feel special.
So how did you know Doc? Did you know him as an employee of Clovis Unified?
I became a groundsman when I got hired and then became an irrigation specialist for the district. He was having issues with this valves, irrigation valves. One of my friends said, hey, you want to go to Doc's house and fix some irrigation? No. And who's Doc? Well, he's the one who started the district. And I said, all right. So I got his number, went and visited him. And that started me fixing an irrigation valve to keeping up his yard and watching movies and sitting in his two lazy boys with the dogs. And he had one, I had the other one, and something I didn't see myself even in a million years doing. I would spend hours with him, talk about his brothers, his dad, showing me his 1920 carpenter tools that he had. Yeah, it was pretty special. Sometimes it bugs me, that people don't understand his vision and what he did for us.
So Carlos, let's talk a little bit more about your career in Clovis Unified. We know you were brought here through Chris Smith. I'm sure you've had other opportunities to leave, but you stayed. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Nothing could give me the satisfaction like Clovis is. We're making a difference. I could go anywhere and do what I do. This is home. I want to create an environment that people will fight to come to this district. I always tell my guys, if you see a kid just sitting there by himself, say good morning. Maybe you're the only one that talked to him that morning. Say, what's popping? What you doing in there? Make them feel special because you never know what they're going through.
What if your grounds department didn't show up to schools for a week? What would they look like?
That's horrible. Just imagine. You imagine how that would look. So there's 3 detail crews. They do special projects. They show up every week. They go through the planners. They go through the weeds. They sit down with the plant supervisor and say, what's an area that you would like help on? The support we get from Chris Petty is awesome because he understands the value that plant ups us in the district. It takes a lot. Every event, every graduation, every track meet, every swim meet, every game. Just because it's a JV game, that doesn't mean our standards go down. We still provide the same service if it's for freshmen or varsity.
It goes without saying that our district has some pretty amazing facilities. And what makes them so amazing is the upkeep and the curb appeal. And then when I get to think about some of the events that our district gets to host at the state level, I wonder about the preparation that your team undergoes for these events. Can you talk a little bit more about that and what your team does in preparation?
I was the team leader at Buchanan. Everything's set up. CIF just shows up, walks outside, and man, it looks great. There's a lot of work that goes into it. Brian said, Carlos, we need to move the flag. It was my CUSD flag. He had a CIF flag on the opposite side of the stadium. So I laughed and I go, what? He goes, yeah, we need to move that flag. I want them to see the CIF flag when they walk in the stadium. So, hey, you're not moving my flag. My flag ain't going nowhere. Denver called me and say, hey, we need to move the flag, but thank God he didn't. So my flag's staying. It represents us. When you walk in my stadium, I want you to see my flag. This is my district. This is my home. This is all my guys' hard work. That's what they see. This is my students. This is home for them. The first thing I want them to look up is our flag, their home. When they're running or when they're playing, they're going to push because the first thing they saw was their flag, not a CIF flag. And maybe it's a weird way of me thinking, but this is home and that's my flag and you're not going to touch it.
When you think about legacy, what you received and what you want to leave, what comes to mind?
This place is so special to me because I was told, it's okay. You don't got to learn all this because you ain't going to be nobody. And this was told by me by a teacher because I didn't understand the language. I didn't know how to read or write. Just listen to that. I don't care about trophies. I just care about making an impact on my team. I want to make sure that they're a successful team when I'm not here, that I'm building a team that is unbreakable.
Is there one philosophy that connects everything together? And why do you do this work?
People. It's people. That's what connects everything, and that's what allows us to provide the service that we provide for our community and students. Yeah, I think the district has a lot of people that leave without an ego. Once you let that ego in you, it blocks your vision. It blocks your intentions of becoming a servant. Because we serve as students, and we serve without an ego. Once you eliminate that, your vision is clear to what the purpose is and where we're heading. And you can see it right there. But if you have an ego, that thing could be right in front of you. You're not going to see it. We're not afraid of having those difficult conversations like, no. I love you, but this is not going to happen. Because we have a whole view of what the district is, what our foundation is, and our goals for the community. I want the parents to see that when they drop their kids on our site, they're 100% safe and 100% they don't have to work. They could go and provide for their family, knowing that their kids are on the right hand. And I tell when we hire, listen, we all got kids. All they're my kids. The first thing they're going to see is you. That's the first thing they're going to see, you. So I want you to look the part. No position in the district or in my grounds department is the same. We all got different responsibilities. But at the end of the day, you are the piece that's holding us together. You are. And that's your responsibility. You're a really important piece of the puzzle. And without your piece, we can't be successful. We've always got to find a solution for whatever issue we're having. because we need you.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed hearing from someone who makes CUSD a special place for students and families. This podcast is dedicated to every classified and certificated employee who shows up each day to enrich students' lives and help them be their best in mind, body, and spirit. We'll see you next time on the DocBPodcast. As Doc always said,
So don't ever forget our motto.
Sickle.